The Nehru Memorial Museum and Library in the capital has been officially renamed today the Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society. The new museum is a tribute, remember, to all 14 Indian Prime Ministers. But the Congress party is up in arms, claiming it's a deliberate attempt to destroy and diminish Jawaharlal Nehru's name and legacy. The BJP says the Congress is exposing its Parivarvad. Take a look.
The campus where India's first Prime Minister lived for 16 years until his death in 1964, called the Teen Murti House. Originally built in 1930 as part of British architect Edwin Lutyen's imperial capital. The same campus developed into the Nehru Memorial Museum and dedicated to the nation 6 months after the passing of the first Prime Minister, on his 75th birth anniversary. Built as a premier research center, a pilgrimage for history buffs, a forum of intellectual activity located south of the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. The heritage institution now renamed as the Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society. The move officially aimed at diversifying its remit, a tribute to every Prime Minister and their contribution to nation building over the past 75 years.
The old block is the Teen Murti Bhavan, and that is where we had the Nehru Museum before, and it continues to be there. Now we have built a new block, and it is a seamless integration of the old building and the new building, and all of it now constitutes the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, that is the Prime Minister's Museum. The whole idea was to showcase the work of all our Prime Ministers.
But the name change has triggered a political controversy. Congress has accused the Modi government of attempts to contaminate history and remove tangible symbols of Nehruvian legacy.
It shows the pettiness of Mr. Modi. It shows the RSS, Bharatiya Jansangh and Bharatiya Janata Party's hate against Pandit Nehru.
This pettiness is unfortunate, and it shows a certain bitterness towards our own historical past, which I believe is not worthy of a government that has such a good majority, so much confidence in themselves. They should at least show that big-heartedness that you expect that comes with a big majority.
Congress allies too have echoed similar accusations.
यही स्टेडियम जो भगवान विष्णु के नाम पे था एकाना, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के नाम पे किया, हमें कोई नाराजगी नहीं है। और हमें खुशी तब होती जब उनके गांव बटेश्वर में भी एक यूनिवर्सिटी बन जाती, तो शायद उनके परिवार के लोगों को और शुरुआती समय पे जिन्होंने उन्हें राजनीति में आगे बढ़ाया, उनका भी सम्मान हो जाता।
The BJP has hit back. Its attack centered around the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty. The ruling party accused Congress of promoting family politics.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री की लोकतांत्रिक सोच देखिए कि किस प्रकार से उन्होंने सारे प्रधानमंत्रियों को जगह दी है। क्या देवेगौड़ा, क्या गुजराल साहब, क्या चरण सिंह साहब। तो मैं कांग्रेस के जयराम रमेश को एक ही बात कहूंगा, आपने सब कुछ नेहरू जी ही, नरेंद्र मोदी की सोच, जितने प्रधानमंत्री सबका सम्मान।
देश की लिए और देश की आजादी के लिए, देश भारत के निर्माण के लिए तमाम हजारों हमारे महानायकों ने कुर्बानी दी है, जिन्हें कि आपने इतिहास के काले पन्नों में डाल दिया था। मोदी जी ने आने के बाद आपके सम्मान के साथ साथ उनके सम्मान को भी सम्मान दिया।
The long-drawn battle over political brands just got intense. With Kumar Kunal, Bureau Report, India Today.
So Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya or Nehru Memorial, what's in a name? Joining me for our second face-off, Professor Makhan Lal, historian who's been associated with this project of the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, and Mridula Mukherjee, historian and former director of the Nehru Memorial. To you, Mridula Mukherjee, first, what's in a name? The fact is the Nehru Memorial is there, the Teen Murti Museum is there. It's just that the entire complex is being renamed Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya so that other prime ministers, according to the BJP government, also get their due.
By that logic, Rajdeep, we should rename the Gandhi Smriti, where Gandhiji was assassinated, as the Martyrs Memorial. The National Gandhi Museum, we can include a few more people in it and rename it as a Freedom Struggle Museum. I mean, world over, you do memorialize in the name of individuals who have made outstanding contributions to society. This is nothing unique that was done over here to memorialize the name of Nehru. And as far as the democratizing thing is concerned, there is enough space in India and in Delhi, and the government has enough resources to make museums, memorials to as many people as they want. I do not see the logic of interfering with an existing institution, a very fine institution, with a well-established reputation and a well-established name. It is like tomorrow you start renaming the Smithsonian, you start renaming the British Museum, or the Prince Albert and Victoria Museum in London. Institutions acquire a certain brand name. They are known by that. You don't go messing around with that. Secondly, this whole business of saying we are democratizing by bringing in other people. I mean, the Nehru Memorial Museum, I want to assert very emphatically, was already democratized. It was not Nehru-centric. I saw a statement by Mr. Surya Prakash saying that you go and see over there and you will see how the Nehru family has made it a Nehru-centric place. I'm sorry, I contest each and every word of that. You go and see. It is not Nehru-centric. Even the main museum building, which is the main museum where Nehru used to live, only one room in the big exhibition that was done over there. It's an exhibition on the freedom struggle. One room is on Nehru from childhood to youth, and then begins the story of the freedom struggle, where Nehru is not forefronted at all. There is not even extra photograph of Nehru in any room. It's a full story, and mind you, what disturbs me most, it is the only place where we have memorialized the whole struggle for freedom. And that has been disturbed and disturbed very badly.
Okay. You've made some
so
strong...
The library and the archives, it is in Nehru's name, but... Yeah.
You're saying it's in Nehru's name, but it is not a Nehru property. You're saying it's in Nehru's name, it's not. It's a tribute to the entire freedom struggle. It involves all elements of it, not just an individual, even though it's named after the individual. Professor Makhan Lal, respond to what you've heard.
One moment. I just want to add in 10 seconds.
I have great
the
respect
Nehru
for...
plan.
Ma'am, let Professor Makhan Lal, I'll come back to you, ma'am.
And also...
Yeah, go ahead, Professor.
Okay. Let me say one thing. I have great respect for Professor Mridula Mukherjee as a historian. I have always held her in very high esteem. But always I have had fundamental differences with her. She has great objection renaming Nehru Memorial Museum to Prime Minister Museum. She forgets that Nehru Memorial Museum and that building itself has been renamed. It was not built for Prime Minister of India. It was built for the Chief of Army Staff of the Imperial India. First thing. Secondly, I am one person, I confess on your channel, I have a lot to tell, but there is no time today. From 2016, I am associated with project when nobody knew, not even the newspaper knew what is happening. I have been associated with the planning committee, I have been associated with the building committee, I have been associated with the
content committee, and of late, when the things came to final stages, I confined myself only to content committee. All that I am saying is, when Prime Minister decided to have a memorial, in terms of not memorial as dead memorial, as a living contribution to all the Prime Minister, what should we do? Where do we go to know what different Prime Ministers have contributed? Let us accept Nehru is our ideal. He is one of the greatest Prime Minister country has given. Mrs. Gandhi is there. But after Mrs. Gandhi, after Nehru, after Lal Bahadur Shastri, what about all other Prime Ministers? Have they not contributed anything? Number one. I mean, whether it is BP Singh, whether it is Chandrasekhar, whether it is Narasimha Rao, is there anything to the people to know about them except to go to Google, which is anything? It is correct, incorrect, horrible. I don't want to go into that. So it was thought that we should have a museum where all the Prime Ministers should feature in, including at least 15, 20 future Prime Ministers. I have been part of the first presentation of the building construction, area layout and all that, and we thought best way to enter into Prime Minister's Museum is people must enter through the life of first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. And that is why it was decided 20 acres of wasteland. She knows. Midla ji is I respect her. She was director. She knows 28 acres of land in Delhi is not a joke. And it was all wasteland. We thought that we should design the new building in such a way that people enter into the building feeling the aura of the first Prime Minister first. They should not reach to anybody else without meeting Jawaharlal Nehru. And Midla ji, I request you to go to the museum now. Jawaharlal Nehru is in main building. Entire building which belonged to him, it still belongs to him. Go. Where there was a topi, where there was a chashma, where there was this, just look at.
Okay,
50 log, 100 log bhi daily nahi aate the. Now in that very museum, hold on, Rajdeep ji, in that very museum today, more than 4,000 to 5,000 people visit every day. On weekdays and on weekends, number goes to 7,000, 8,000. I think that we must appreciate one thing. Jawaharlal Nehru's stature has gone height because he is there standing taller than all other Prime Ministers. So let us see in that context.
Okay, you made your point, and I want to give Mridula Mukherjee a final word there. But Mridula Mukherjee, in that sense, what is being suggested by Professor Makhanlal is that they have integrated Nehru with the other Prime Ministers without diminishing Nehru's contribution or status, and therefore Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya will not diminish Mr. Nehru by changing a name.
You know, it's quite absurd. I mean, I don't think I have to really argue this point. Nehru's name has been removed. There is no Nehru Memorial anymore. Let's accept that at least. It has become Prime Minister's Memorial. So, do we not have a right to memorialize the first Prime Minister of India? Not only because he was the first Prime Minister, and that's my point. He was memorialized because he was one of the greatest freedom fighters, perhaps second only to Gandhiji. He was the founder of the modern Indian independent state, the founder of Indian democracy. He's the one who did the 5-year plans. He's the one who gave us the non-alignment policy. He was a world statesman, an outstanding intellectual. You want to persuade me we don't need a standalone memorial to him? You can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, very quickly, Makhanlal ji, 30 seconds to you.
Should not be there. It should
have been a standalone memorial to Nehru.
One line only.
We could have found another place for the other Prime Minister.
One line.
Yes, one line.
One line
Wasteland-
only. I
Hang on.
appreciate what
No,
Misra ji is
wasteland,
saying.
you
I
mean the
don't want
Rashtrapati- the Rashtrapati
to
Bhavan has
reduce
so
Nehru
much
into a
wasteland.
memorial. I want him to be living legend for all of us. I don't want to reduce him to rooms.
We know that.
He should be in the heart of everybody.
Okay. We'll wait.
Reducing to memorial.
Okay.
What we
They
have
are
done
not
to
doing
Gandhi. What is
thousands of-
happening?
I'm
What is
gonna-
happening with Gandhi
We
being
will try and work out-
memorialized?
We should have had more time on this. I apologize for that, the shortage of time. But Mridula Mukherjee and Professor Makhanlal, I think you made your core points. And I leave it to the viewers to judge whether Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya sounds better or whether Nehru Memorial sounds better. It's all in a name.